Da-na-na. Do 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 do.
Hey, good evening. Hello, everybody. It is Steve and Ry here for Scuba and The Ry Tuesday night podcast. How are all you wonderful, wonderful human beings out there?
Hey, hey, hey to all you lovely people, because you know it was all of us all along.
It was us all along. It totally was.
Just us.
Wasn't her. It was us. It wasn't Agatha. It was us.
It was me all along.
Oh man, what a wild, wild week.
Yes, it has been, and it's only Tuesday.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's
So wild and crazy.
yeah. Totally is. So yeah, it's again, this is Steve, aka Scuba, and of course Ry, here for your Tuesday night dose of geek and movies and games and odds and ends and all those weird things. So let's give a quick shout out and a thank you over to Sirenscape. If you want to take your tabletop games to the next level, check out Sirenscape.com, where you can check out their online player and other various sound sets to make your games more exciting. Whether it's a tabletop, whether it's a D&D game, fantasy, cyberpunk game, or if it's just playing a board game and you want to have a little extra ambiance to your environment, that is the way to go. Currently, right now, though, you're not listening to Sirenscape, you're listening to Stream Beats, which is DRM-free music that you can use in your videos and streams. Go check out Stream Beats over on Spotify and Apple Music and all the places.
Check it out. Good music all around.
Now we got the Stream Beat. Now we got the Sirenscape rolling. This is a custom sound set I made, for Scuba and The Ry, so let's have some fun.
Boom. Fun and excitement.
I jump scared Mayflower, man.
I think she's referring to Wandavision.
No, I think she's talking about us.
Oh, you're scared of us, May?
I think I startled her.
Boom, kind of things like that. Who knows?
I mean, sorry, not sorry, not sorry. I'm trying to have energy and be exciting.
Because it was all of us all along.
It was us all along. Alrighty, that's kind of going to be our thing for tonight. So yeah, those are the sponsors out of the way. If you like what you're watching, please hit the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe and hit the little bell notification to be notified when more videos come out. We do a couple other different things. We do a couple of D&D live games over on twitch.tv/Scuba Studio. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. is Shadow Watch, a group of level-8 adventurers currently traveling through the Underdark looking for an ancient dwarven artifact that has been broken into pieces.
Gotta find it. Gotta find them all.
And then at Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Challenge Accepted, another group of intrepid adventurers traveling along the Sword Coast-ish, looking for adventure and what shenanigans might ensue. So, yeah. That is kind of what we're working on. I'm looking here in the chat. I see we welcome to you guys in the chat. Chatster, Mayflower, it's good to see y'all.
Good to see y'all.
So yeah, if you like it, please feel free to share it out on your socials. Tell people about how much, if you think we're fun and worth hanging out with.
Let them know that they can see us lovely people, because it was us all along.
If you have not watched the latest episode of Wandavision, you should go check that out. It's where this reference makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
If not, you could just Google it if you want spoilers. But,
Oh, yeah.
we want you to enjoy the whole package.
I found the song on Spotify, so I added it to a playlist. So I will be listening to it in the car.
Yeah.
All night long.
I don't know if I could do that. I mean, it's a catchy tune. It makes me think of the Munsters. But
that was such a good reference. Oh, yeah.
As soon as I hear it, that's the first thing I'm thinking is the Munsters. Yeah, I had a train of thought. I lost it. I'll see if I can find it again later. All the things.
All the things in the gravy train.
And, oh yeah, that's right. What else do we do during the week? Well, on Sunday mornings at 12 noon is Sunday with Scoob, where I sit and I paint a miniature. This past Sunday, I painted a griffin from Reaper Minis. This Sunday, I will be painting a mini I received in the mail yesterday from the Dungeon in a Box company. They're minis in a box. This is called a demonic deep lurker. So
in your shadows.
We will be painting this on Sunday. And if we get it done in time, we can do the mermaid druid riding her manta ray.
Ride or die.
So we'll see how those go. But that's an opportunity for me and any of the casts of D&D games and the moderators and any of our patrons who are at the $15 tier or higher can jump into a voice channel through our Discord server, and they can ask questions. We can hang out. We can talk about behind the screen stuff. We can talk about whatever random things to kind of occupy the time as we listen to some chill music, paint a miniature, and relax.
Boom. Sounds good to me.
I heard somebody sat there and say on Sunday it was very nice to watch a painting stream while they played a video game. Cool. Yes. I guess I'm your new ASMR.
That might be a game worth trying if my computer can handle it.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Valheim.
Valheim. It's a Viking-based thing. Okay.
Yep. It looks good. It looks fun. Might try it.
We'll see how that goes. It looks like our camera is kind of stable and everything. So, yeah. Also, we have a Patreon. If you want to support the studio, the best way to do that is support us through there. So with that, all the announcements, all the scheduling, all that hubbub out of the way, let's get into what we got tonight. And we got a few things tonight. I'll actually give you a little teaser. We have got our movie review. We're going to be talking about Judas and the Black Messiah. Yes. We have some video game stuff. I've been plugging away with Uncharted, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. We got a couple of cool little tidbits from the recent Blizzcon. Blizzcon was last week, and they had some really cool announcements. A couple of them that I'm really excited for. We'll talk about those. D&D game-wise, a little bit to chat about challenge accepted. And we're going to talk about the new D&D sourcebook that was announced today.
Boom.
Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, and our first impressions and the excitement we have for those pre-orders. And then we have a couple other things, kind of fireside chat, just that kind of thing as we move through. And then for odds and ends, we've got some interesting ones like a new bed and breakfast, a 2-pound taco, what not to do when proposing to your girlfriend or significant other, and where on earth can you see dogs with blue fur? That's now a thing, and we'll tell you about that.
Blue fur.
Blue fur.
I don't. Okay.
Yep.
Let's find out, shall we?
Dogs in an abandoned glass factory. You get dogs with blue fur. We'll talk more about that at odds and ends. So before we get there, let's talk about what we've been up to. And as usual, we always start with Ry telling us what he has been up to since we were last together. Ry, what you been up to, my friend?
What I have been up to, the boringness that is my life. No, not really. There's a lot of things that happen, but a more simplified approach this time. Lots of schoolwork, lots of work, but I did decide to go and, hey, Scott, I did decide to go and, hey, cash in on some gift cards I have from Christmas and get a new phone, actually. So I actually got the new Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus, which is this beauty right here. Got this nice leather case, and it opens up, and then there's the screen, and my beautiful girlfriend right on the screen.
Who's horribly washed out because the extra light on the screen. But we all know she's lovely. She's a wonderful person.
So, but yeah, it's S21 Plus. I decided to go a little bit bigger than normal. Great deal that I got with the Verizon Best Buy. Some cool specs on it. It has 3 cameras. It does record 8K video. It's a 6.7-inch screen. And yeah, it's pretty fast because it is 5G, so.
Yeah. And of course, it's got the triple camera on the back because that's the new thing instead of triple camera.
Yeah. Scuba showed me about the 60 frames with the video, and it looked very.
Yes, that's a nice thing. Some of your newer phones, when you go to shoot video, you can actually have the option to select because previously it was they were kind of locked at 30 frames per second. Now, unfortunately, my phone can't do 8K, but to be fair, I don't want to see how fast your phone memory is consumed by an 8K video.
Yeah, it might take up a lot, but I have 128 gigs on there. I don't do too much of data consuming on the phone, so this will last me a while.
That's good. Most of mine will do is for videos as I get to shooting videos.
Yep. And if I run out of space, I do have a Dropbox. So into the cloud I go, people.
It's into the cloud.
But the good thing is, new phone means I can download some of the other games that I used to play on my phone, because I did dabble in some fun RPG games on my phone. So
that works.
Yeah.
That works. All right. Anything else interesting?
Nothing really. Just keeping up with my daily workout stuff. I've cut back on my diet a lot. Going back to my old school, I call it the 2013 diet. So I'm sticking with it.
Oh.
Helping out the health. So keep on keeping on, on to a new month, and new surprises awaits. Because this is the last week of February, so.
Chester's like, I don't want to see my ugly mug in 8K. 720 is too much.
Hey, it might be pretty. Who knows?
Here's the thing, though. You shoot the video in 8K. That sounds great.
Yeah.
You render the video in 8K. How many of us can actually watch a video in 8K, not on the device we shot the video on 8K on?
Exactly.
So that might just be a bit overkill.
Yeah, well, it was just there. So I got the phone because it's a good deal. So.
Hey, if it's a good deal, work with it. There's a lot of video processing. Like, I've noticed that with the video streams I've been editing, I've actually have some new techniques where I up the resolution, and I noticed as a byproduct of that, of course, I just read that comment from Chad. I don't know if I should say this, but yeah, YouTube thinks that I uploaded a video that's 4K quality, so it not only renders it as a standard definition and an HD definition, it now will re-render it in 4K for those of us who want to watch a YouTube video in 4K.
See this in glory, 4K. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, all those things, all the fun, new things, playing with it. Hey Glenn, glad you could join us. Of course, we interact with the chat while we're talking. We're a YouTube live stream, so yeah, we're gonna do this.
What's new with you?
Oh, with me. Oh,
yes.
My turn.
Yes, I don't have anything else. A little bit of writing, schoolwork.
No.
That's about it.
Well, let's see. What have I got? Couple of things. Obviously, we did yesterday. The newer thing first, because that took a week to kind of come together, and that is I redid all my computer setup on the back end of my studio, where I keep all my computers and whatnot on kind of my server racks, for lack of a better term. And I was having storage issues. So I told patrons this in a couple of posts. I've been having storage issues, so I decided to and our friend Saladin had offered to build me a NAS server, which is network access storage. And it was okay working on that. So I touched base, like, okay, you had this project you told me about. What do you need for it? I had some extra money on hand for a couple of things. So it was like, what do you need? So we talked back and forth. And I bought a couple of drives, and turns out he had two towers that were one had good pieces, another one had different good pieces. So trying to mix the two together, but the case was really kind of jacked up. But I was like, is it really worth it? He's like, no. So I was like, let's buy a new case then. So we bought a new case, and freaking thing is huge, man.
Yeah, it definitely was big.
It's a big case. I mean, I got the box over there. The box is as tall as the table that Ry is sitting at. No, I don't have a short table for Ry. I have a lifted chair. But,
short people ride high. We need stepping stools everywhere.
It's been so long since I made a short joke for you. Like, it just kind of rolled out.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's a lot of short jokes back in the day.
Oh yeah, but so we got this new tower. So using a software called Unraid, which is a software-based RAID network operating system. You literally load it on a flash drive, and plug it in and connect the computer to the network, and it's got a web-based interface so you can manage the RAID and do a bunch of other things like Dockers and whatnot to it. He had a couple of SSD drives for our cache. I picked up 2 6-terabyte drives for the storage. And Sunday night, the last of the parts came. If you were watching Sunday with Scoob, you noticed that during the middle of the painting stream, I got a knock on the door that a delivery was made. And of course, the delivery guy, being the nice person that he was, dropped the package right in front of the door. And of course, it's this big honking tower in this huge box. So it's like I go to open the door and it's like clink, clink, clink. I'm like, really? So I had to push the box out of the way and get it in, and then he popped over and he started doing the assembly. So he put it together. We started putting it together, and then Monday we redid all the wiring, cleaned up the wiring, repositioned everything. So now all 4 computers, all the consoles, the battery backups, everything is all laid out, spread out, and I'm gonna shoot a studio tour this week. I know I will do it, and I'll cut that together so patrons can see behind the scene what my studio looks like, for as far as where everything's laid out, and kind of talking about that. I figured y'all deserve it. If we hit 100 subscribers here on the YouTube channel, then I will release that video so YouTube can look at it too. In the meantime, patrons will probably get to see that. So if you're not a patron, go check out Patreon. Another thing, kind of a life thing for me, but we could talk a little bit more about that a little later after State of Game, because it affects my state of game. Yeah, affects my state of game. So we'll talk about it then. But yeah, no, it's pretty chill, pretty quiet. I mean, did some video game stuff, did some gaming stuff. I was having a little bit of mental health type of issues last week or into the weekend. I'm not gonna hide that, but I'll tell you about it a little bit later, because with everything going on, and sometimes as a transitioning into being content creator, and the fact that I'm home all the time and I'm sitting in this chair talking to all of you on various points, is like there's a difference in the level of activity and the mental health that goes with that. And actually going through that right now, figured I'll just talk about it. I'm not an expert. Don't take what I say as gospel, but I will share with you, if you are so inclined to hear, to maybe it's relatable, maybe we have a connection, and go from there.
Yes, sir.
All right. So enough of that. Let's talk about Judas and the Black Messiah.
Let's raise the power.
So Judas and the Black Messiah is a movie that is a new release. It's currently available on HBOMax. If you want to go check it out. I had not had a chance to check it out yet, but Ry has, and of course Ry's going to tell us about it. And if you like the review and you want to read more of Ry's reviews, go to ryreviews, all one word, .com, and check out all of his many reviews. I think we have 6 or 8 years worth of movie reviews and opinion pieces up there that Ry has done.
Yes.
Some of them are very insightful. Some of them are, I can agree with that. Some of that are, I might go check this film out now. Oh, yeah. And he's always open to requests.
I am always open to requests.
Now that I've shamelessly promoted you, go ahead and tell us about this movie to justify what I just said.
I appreciate the shameless plug. Go check out my reviews at ryreviews.com. I'll repeat it again. Shamelessly. But I speak that way because it goes into this film called Judas and the Black Messiah. Like Scuba pointed, it is a HBO Max release. It's one of those dual releases from Warner Brothers Theater and HBO Max. And this movie centers around, it is based on historical events, and it centers around in the late 1960s when the FBI infiltrated the Black Panther Party, specifically the section of the Black Panther Party in Chicago. And it has Jesse Plemons in the role of the FBI agent Roy Mitchell, who recruits, and unbeknownst to him through some convenient circumstances and plot devices, Bill O'Neill, played by Lakeith Stanfield, and he is recruited to infiltrate the Black Panther Party because they want to get an understanding of the structure, the power, and the wherewithal of what they are planning. The FBI sees it at this time that the Black Panther Party as the most serious threat to America at this point. And basically, once he infiltrates it, he is to develop a relationship with the section leader, Fred Hampton, played by Daniel Kaluuya. These are three prime actors in very distinct and intricate roles, and the film follows the struggle of all of these characters as the infiltration begins, and it becomes a path of struggle that creates a conflict between duty and social injustice. Um, this film uses a very basic cat and mouse style narrative within the kind of infiltration espionage kind of thing. So if you've seen films of that nature, you know said character gets into gang, club, insert group here.
What are some examples? What are some notable?
Donnie Brasco is one that comes to mind.
That one was actually not bad.
That is the one that comes to mind right off the top of my head.
That was Johnny Depp, isn't it?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp plays an FBI agent who tries to infiltrate the mob.
Yeah, he infiltrates the mob, and then he gets sucked in so bad that he starts to conflate reality to his fictitious role.
Oh.
You kind of see similarities of that in this, but in change, what makes this film a lot more above the typicalness of its basic outline is that it actually bleeds truth and situational purposes. So even though you have the basic foundation of these characters, what makes them stand above the rest is the humanizing of the drama. What you have is very strong relationships being built, especially between O'Neill and Hampton, and you watch how that relationship kind of bleeds into his own consciousness, O'Neill's consciousness, on what he's being fed by the FBI isn't actually all that true, and what Hampton is doing for the Black Panther Party. And throughout the film, you start to watch his caricature start to get fractured and become fragile, because as he slowly passes on the information to the FBI and they do certain raids and they cause havoc, the FBI is trying to build an image of this group, whereas when you're actually inside the group and you're watching the speeches and watching the interaction with the people, it's not what it seems. And what this film does great, it doesn't try to force bias beliefs. It allows the audience to live and breathe the ongoings of what's going on. It basically puts all the cards on the table, and it's like you watch the characters build and bleed in this like reality of situations that becomes ominous, true, and actually reflection of our own kind of social environment today. So once the film gets into the latter half, you start to see the faults of heavy government influences, even if it plays on some cliches of what government does or doesn't do in like other films. It does have an endearing consequence because it is something that is based on historical events. So this is actual events being put on the screen, slightly dramatized, but it does...
Slightly?
Yeah, it's just slightly dramatized. Dramatized. Not all the way, but because, even if it's a film, you still gotta pump up the emotions, but there is a rawness to the actual, events that makes you realize that there is a fight for your personal soul against the status quo.
Nice.
Any thoughts? Any questions?
No, actually, I really kind of want to check this out to see. I think it's interesting. I like Donnie Brasco, and if this is kind of in that same vein of Donnie Brasco, I might enjoy this one.
You probably will. I mean, it doesn't do the same where he kind of becomes part of the role. It's just the characters start to question their purpose and the importance of job and duty. And it's not just O'Neill. It's not just Lakeith Stanfield's character, but it's the other two. And you start to see Mitchell start to question, why are we trying to keep to the status quo? And you realize Hampton is not into all the fanaticism that is the complexion of what people want to see in the Black Panther Party.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Excuse me. So, all important question. What was the rating?
Overall,
what do you call this?
This is definitely another one of those heavy hitter films. It's a heavy drama, not one I probably can watch again, but it's one that is very strong, very deep, very strong characters. It's definitely an award-worthy experience. 4.5 out of 5.
Interesting.
Definitely a great written script and a great, window into historical events and, character development.
Okay. That's cool. We'll have to definitely go read up on that on ryreviews.com. It's the latest review, and go check it out if you have HBOMax, or if you have a theater that's open near you, go check this out in theater.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. I guess we could take a couple of minutes to talk about the latest episode of WandaVision, or do you think we ran that joke into the ground enough?
No, we can run it some more.
We could do it some more because it's been us the entire time.
It's been us all along, badgering it, badger.
So yeah, latest episode of WandaVision came out, which is funny because Thursday, my friend, a friend of mine was over because we got into this habit of watching like anime on Thursdays. That was his routine before another friend of ours passed away. So we're trying to build new routines and kind of keep that activity going. And I've never seen like the Gundam franchise, so we're starting to watch through Gundam. And I kid you not, you know what? I'm gonna get the list. I'm gonna get you this list. This is hilarious.
The list.
The list.
The list of the Gundam series, or just the ones that you're going to watch?
No. See, one of my friends, he's really organized in a lot of senses, especially when it comes to certain fandoms. Like, I have a box over here of comics that he has given me in a particular order with a checklist to read through so that I could update my comic knowledge.
Update it, Scoob. We need to talk.
And then we were talking about anime, and now up till this point, the only Gundam franchise series I've watched was Gundam Wing, right? Well, he's like, no. So you got to watch you got to check out all this other stuff because Wing is this offshoot kind of thing. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah. Wing
okay.
Is an offshoot.
So he gives me a list of the Gundam in chronological order. And he's like, we get to start and watch this, and he's like, so, do you want to watch this in chronological order as in the story, or chronological order as release date?
Yeah, that is true, because,
And I was like, yeah, chronological is part of the story. I mean, and yeah, considering, for those who don't know, the original Gundam came out in the late 1970s.
Yes.
So that animation is a little dated. Just a little.
Slightly dated.
Slightly dated, but it's interesting. It's interesting. So we started watching that. Well, Salad and Colin, we were talking about this, and we got to talking about WandaVision. Now, my friend who's here, he's like, oh no, they're done with it. They only did 6 episodes and they're done. That's why they can keep doing all these series back to back to back. And I'm like, me and Saladin are like, no, I'm pretty sure there's like 8 or 9 episodes.
There's 9 episodes. And
then so it's like, well, we'll find out in the morning. And sure enough, episode 7 dropped, and it was like, wow, superhero landings, mockumentary style TV shows,
Modern Family reference, Office reference,
so many things, and so many things, and even a mid-credits sequence.
For all us Marvel fans that actually sat through all those credits in the first 6 episodes, it finally paid off. Episode 7. Yeah. So, what'd you think of episode 7? Any theories get debunked? Any theories get built? I think,
as far as what?
Who, what, where, when, why, how? Who?
Well, this was an interesting theory I read today, actually. Mm-hmm. And that was the fact that the reason why there was a mid-credits scene is because at this point of TV series and pulp culture, we started to have mid-credit scenes in films and sometimes in shows.
Oh,
so because we're doing this mockumentary thing like The Office and Modern Family, where you have this, and it's like, this is like the 2000s to the early 2010s. This is right about the time that Iron Man came out, which dropped the mother of all post-credit scenes that got that whole thing rolling. That is probably why they put it in there. Teasing on the whole bit with the engineer, we were waiting to see it, and we wanted to see it, and how was Monica going to get it back into the hex, and what all the crazy shenanigans were, and the big reveals at the end. It was great.
Oh yeah, it was great. It added to the manifestation of Wanda's powers, or the fracture of lack thereof in a way, because in this episode, she is not able to control some things, especially with her house jumping through the decades, and she has to wrap it around all the time.
Yeah. And she's kind of like nursing a hangover or something.
Nursing a magical hangover. You know, when you expand the hex, you know, you got to take a day for yourself. And she definitely took a day for herself. But also, Vision running into Darcy, and then him learning the truth about himself. That's kind of a revelation in his own mind, because he can't remember anything before Westview.
No, but it's just that whole bit, like him doing that, the whole fourth wall break all the time.
He's like, what am I doing here? Takes off the mic, barely able to get it off. But yeah, the reveal at the end, for a lot of people that are Marvel comic book nerds, were pretty much, that was like, if there was any other theories that might hedge a bet that might go one way or the other, that one was almost obviously hit nail on the noggin, if you know the comics.
Well, yeah, I mean, that one was fairly glaringly obvious. We were just a matter of when.
Yeah.
But still, the probably best part is the fact the last 30 seconds of the episode, that little song is like that's so worth it. But Sakura had said she had seen all the Gundam series as well. So just to let you know, I have watched Mobile Suit Gundam Origin in movie format, not series format. And I'm currently working on Mobile Suit Gundam for UC79, which is like the original 1970s series. I think we're up to episode 10 of 40. So yeah, I'm not worried about how long it takes. It's more about hanging out. And the idea is that we hang out, we build miniatures, paint miniatures, and watch Gundam. Unfortunately, I haven't quite been doing that.
Yeah.
Watching the Gundam part, not the minis part, but we got other excuses for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, anime is definitely fun. You got a lot of lists on anime.
This is just the Gundam, let alone some of these other things that they were watching beforehand, and oh boy.
I'm currently watching a few animes myself. Jujutsu Kaisen, final season of Attack on Titan, second season of Promised Neverland. Another one of my favorites is coming back this week, called Log Horizon, after many years of hiatus.
Yeah, I don't get how you can. I just don't get it. I guess maybe I just don't have the patience for a lot of TV.
I have no idea. But you know, I don't. You know, anime is a hit and miss. You know, for all the 3 or 4 good series you find, there's always that 1 or 2 where you just shake your head. So you know, anything.
Anyways. But yeah, so that was the fun there. So with that, I guess we can talk about State of Game. State of Game is a segment where we talk about the various games we are playing and the platforms and methods we are playing them. This is also happens to be some time I talk about some D&D related topics. And this week is no exception. But first off, we talk about one of the things for the studio's goals is to explore games, create stories, and make things. So let's explore some gaming experience and some of those gaming stories. Ry, what as traditional, Ry, you do you want to start your video games first, or do you want me to do mine? Then you could do yours, and then I'll go back to talk about D&D.
I can do mine. It's really quick.
Okay.
Only one game that I've touched because, as you know, I finished Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, I am trailing around the last mission, so whenever I get to that, I'll talk about that. So the other game that was in that rotation heavily was AC Valhalla, and I did the main story, and what I've done so far is I've got an Odin Spear, and now I decided to take the final part of England, and that's Wessex.
And you were talking about this offline, is like it wasn't as gratifying as you thought it would be.
No, it's very anticlimactic. It's definitely not as full, well-rounded as all the other places, but it could be because it is more of an epilogue in a way, because you actually have, at this point, you've already finished the main line of the story, so that that finale itself was great. So this is just kind of the add-on because you still had that part of England to conquer. So there's still some little bits that finish up. You know, killing the rest of the Order of the Ancients, getting an Excalibur, and Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
Sounds like we have time to kill before the first expansion drops.
Yeah, the first expansion ain't dropping until spring, I believe. Spring.
Well, it's not like it's that far away. I mean, we're about to start March next week.
Oh yeah, and that's going to be in Ireland.
Okay. Cool.
The second expansion is going to be in Paris.
So
looking forward to both. So gaming wise, going a little bit down. I might return back to some other games that I have played and just kind of stop, which I do sometimes. Dragon Quest 11. Go back to playing Horizon Zero Dawn. There's not really any new games I want to get because I want to get the new systems before I get new games. So,
well, I'm in no danger of buying any new games in the near future, and I'll tell you why. As you know, I have inherited a large collection of video games, and I was trying to look through them, and I needed to get myself a PlayStation 4 so I could play some of them. So I got my PlayStation 4 in, and I've been working through the Uncharted franchise.
yeah.
I have completed 2, completed 3, and completed 4. 4 is very gratifying after you play the previous 3, which technically there are 4 previous games because one of the Uncharted games was on the PlayStation Vita, I believe. Which
so it was the
yeah, there's if you're familiar with the franchise, one of the beautiful things about 4 is it really wraps up and makes a lot of great callbacks to the previous games. So looking through all of those, and it's talking about, it's like, okay, what are some of the shared titles with me and some friends? So I decided, well, you know what? I have been putting this project off for a long time. I'm going to inventory my video games. Yeah, that was that was a decision, and decisions were made, and I got the start of my list, and I've realized I've got like something like 378 unique games that I have acquired over the last 15, 20 years. Guys, it's been that long? It's 360 days? Yeah, since the 360 days.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, a lot of games. And all I did so far was my Xbox library and my Steam library. And now I'm working into the PlayStation library. But it was just oh my God, why did I buy 4 copies of this game on all these different platforms and never got a chance to play it? So yeah. But I will get through them eventually. And currently I'm working on Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is the last one currently in the franchise. I'm hoping Naughty Dog does another one, but I kind of like the way they ended Nathan Drake's story, so I'm good either way. But yeah, that's been my whole thing. I've tried to make time to play, and it was funny because it was like we were playing, and my daughter was like, "Hey, can you?" It's like, "Do you have a problem if I'm playing while you're sitting there doing your classes?" And she's like, "No, go ahead." So she was sitting there. She was sitting there doing her classes. I was working through, and then it's like I had a package at the door. And it's like, oh, hey, there's the 4. And I'm finishing up Uncharted 3 at the same day. So I was like, yeah, this works. But it's good and bad. But it's, as you know, in what I said, though, the fact that I went through 2, 3, and 4 in a week's time, there's some other things going on in the background. And this is self-reflection, self-understanding. But let me, so what almost a year ago, I was working in an office and moving around quite a bit and all of these things, which is all pre-COVID stuff. Since COVID had hit, I've been relegated to being a stay-at-home parent and trying to do this content creation thing. Right now, it's technically considered a hobby as I'm trying to make it into a self business. Some things that have come in with that is, as a lot of us have talked about, identified, sometimes our mental and depression can go in there. Now, I have states of depression. I have not taken any meds in a number of years because personally, I hate pharmaceuticals. I hate the concept of, I understand there is a need for pharmaceuticals. So if you need pharmaceuticals, and there is no other way around it. Do not take what I'm saying as my opinion better than your, or any of that nonsense. Me personally, I don't like them because I don't like the dependency that comes. I know they mean well, but I have gone through so many, and I've had some rough instances. Like there was a time when I was active duty and I was sick, and I self-medicated with Motrin to try and treat the flu. Yeah, that was a smart idea. So smart that I was actually coughing up parts of my stomach. Didn't realize that if you take too much Motrin at any given time, it will actually start eating away at your stomach lining. That was good to know. But since then, it's been those things. So, but I have bouts where I get really depressed. And sometimes the depression comes from stress overload. And when I have this kind of stress overload, sometimes I will put myself in a situation where I can tunnel vision on something, and everything that stresses me out, I push to the side. And that's pretty much what happened. Mental health wise, I fell into one of those points where I didn't care about anything else except for this one thing. And that really did me a disservice, and it did some people who were counting on me a disservice. And that is one of those points afterwards of realizing, because I really felt bad. And because I felt bad, it was why did I do this? And sometimes it takes a lot stronger person to sit there and reflect on potentially why. Now, I'm one of those, I've done a lot of various studies on my own and talked to a lot of people. I've done therapy with multiple therapists. I've read up on it. I've had plenty of those conversations. So it's not like it, but I am no professional in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying to self-diagnose is a good thing or any of that. So I always try to consult people who are smarter than me. So it was doing that, and it was like part of that was my physical ability, my physical movement, everything goes on. So one of the things I did is I talked with my wife, and we agreed that I should start going back to the gym. So I started looking at places and ways I could go back to the gym, and I wanted to do something where I could pay for a gym membership a year out, because the whole models right now, it's like, oh, you pay $20 a month. Well, when you're in a position where you're worried about whether or not you'll have $20 the next month, that can be very stressful. Not going to lie. So I did some calling around, and I found that there's a gym just down the street from me. It's actually about 2 miles round trip, maybe. That offered an annual membership option. And it was great. None of those extra sign up fees or any other crap. It's like $220 out the door. You're good for a year. Sold.
That's always a good flat fee. Pay it. Boom.
Flat fee. I'm good. I like it because now I can focus on going to the gym. Well, one of the other things is I wanted to work with a trainer. I feel I need to work with a trainer mainly because being someone who's prior military, and I'm prior Marine Corps, so say what you want to say, but there's some, and being a heavy person in the Marine Corps, you were forced to do a lot of nutrition study and a lot of physical fitness study. So I have a lot of great knowledge on X, Y, and Z. However, all of that is based on someone who's actually, let's see, according to my assessment, someone who is 230 pounds lighter than I am right now. So needless to say, I can't really do those same things I used to do. And the fact that I've gotten to the point after a year, when COVID hit, I was coming in at 380 pounds ish. My assessment as of yesterday says I'm at 430. I've gained almost 100 pounds in a year of being stuck at home with COVID and not really getting out as much as I used to for various reasons. Now I'm getting involved in something and work-life balance. That's the big thing is work-life balance. Find a way to unplug and step away where you need to step away. And as such, it's like I can't move like I used to. I mean, I get winded walking from one end of my house to the other. I mean, seriously, that is bad. And I went out to the comic shop with a friend of mine, and this is somebody I used to outpace. Now he outpaces me, and I'm struggling. I'm struggling. So it's like I've got to make changes. So my wife was like, I don't care the cost, do it. I want to keep you around for a few more years. I'm like, well, I guess if you really want to.
That comment still tickles my fanny when I hear.
So,
way to go there. You are a champ.
it is. It's hilarious. And so starting, I had my assessment with the trainer, using this, it's called the in-body test, which is a really interesting test. They have like a little scale you can step on, and it does kind of electro shock to kind of get an assessment. And turns out, one of the interesting things is I have quite a bit of skeletal muscle mass. Like, it's like 129.9, is right about it. But unfortunately, my BMI is like 204.
Yeah.
So my BMI comes out to be 58.4 per kilogram for kilograms, and the healthy range is between 18.5 and 25. So we were like, well, what do you want? What's your goal? My goal is to get this down to the 22 point range. And because I'm not worried about the weight, because I'm a big guy. I'm a stocky person. And I knew when I was active duty, the only time I saw below 200 pounds in my adult life was right after boot camp when I was at 186. Sure as I'm telling you, the minute I got out of boot camp and came back from my 10 days post boot camp leave, I was back over 200 and change.
That's quick.
In like 10 days. Plus, of course, recruiter leave, so I get another 30. So 40 days after boot camp, 40 days after not doing the effort of energy that you spent at boot camp, I had just gained so much weight because my body just went, oh, hell no.
It was like 10 days of not this.
Oh, it was rough. And I've been fighting it ever since. But I wanted to, it's like, talking with a trainer. So my current plan right now to start with, because I also paid for some trainer sessions and going to keep working on that, is going to start off trying to get the body lubricated and moving. I was talking about this on the other day with somebody. I think it was Ry on the Sunday show, where I felt like I'm kind of like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz when Dorothy first starts putting the oil in the joints. You hear that creak, creak, creak. Oh, gosh. I can start moving. So that's the current plan. I'm going to be meeting with the trainer on Wednesdays and Fridays for about a half an hour session and starting to get some cardio and all that. But I figured some of y'all, we seem to have a connection with y'all, and I really like y'all. And I feel like this kind of helps me kind of talk this out, because normally I'm kind of a quiet person. I don't really talk about myself, but when you start to become an internet person, you tend to talk about yourself more.
A little bit more.
A little bit. So I figured I would share this with y'all, and hopefully y'all can help me and keep me motivated to keep doing this and keep moving forward. And hopefully, we'll have some changes. Gonna have to, work on some other stuff, but that was something that happened over there that I did some friends of mine a disservice by the fact that I had a depression lapse. And when it hit, it was, I've got to do this. And, this is what I did. And I regret doing it for the simple reason. It's like, why did I not do differently? Because I got overly depressed because I let too many things stack up. So, yeah.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all, gotta just keep moving forward.
Hopefully that was enjoyable and not just like, or you weren't just like rolling your eyes at me. It was like, yeah.
No, it was good because you gotta, especially with the working out and dieting, you gotta have that starting point, and then you just gotta keep doing it and doing it. And
Yeah, the other thing is he asked me to wait. The trainer asked me to like track what I eat for the next 5 days, and he asked me to do something that no other trainer has asked me to do yet, and that is for the food I eat at home. Instead of trying to go, well, I had this made with this, this, and this, he goes, weigh the food. Do you have a food scale? I said, yeah. I've had one for years. I have tried a lot of things for diet. Trust me. And he was like, do you have a food scale? I was like, yeah. Well, weigh the food you eat when you eat at home and log it down. And so I've been tracking it. And of course, I went out for tacos and Mexican today with some friends. So I just wrote down what I ate, because it's like you can look that up on the restaurant stuff to get your calorie intake. But for those home cooked meals, I put the plate, an empty plate on, zeroed out the scale, put the plate with the food on, and it was like, it's interesting. But we're gonna start working on a diet plan and all that other stuff, and some of the things I have to go through, because it's like portion control is my biggest thing. I've always loved the idea of like the Hello Fresh or some of these other things, even the old school things like Weight Watchers or whatever, because it's the portion control. And sometimes portion control is one of those things. It's like, it's really great, and then getting cleaner foods. I had been trying to look at keto to maybe help with that, and the trainer was like, don't. He was like, just don't. I wouldn't recommend it unless you were diabetic. And I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not one of those. Got it in my family, but I'm not one of those.
Keto is definitely, it works, but it all depends on situations.
Yeah, my big thing is the fact that when you realize that your body fat has a chemical reaction. Like the more belly fat you have actually causes the body to produce more estrogen. Like the alternative is testosterone, which helps keep stuff moving. So when you have an excess of estrogen, it kind of offsets the testosterone. And I had issues where I was trying to figure out what was going on with me. And one of the things we had figured out is my pituitary gland was not producing enough to keep things going. There's not enough fuel in the forge, so to speak. So I was doing something for a little while before getting laid off with the doctor about taking a non-habit forming medication that would literally jumpstart the pituitary to start kicking off more of the chemicals. Now, I didn't want to go in, well, geez, if you're talking about have a low testosterone, take something to do that. It's like, yeah, no, because you can really screw yourself up. I mean, when I went to some of the professionals, they were like, dude, we don't normally see people who are until like twice your age. I'm like, I'm almost 40. What the hell are you talking about? Well, yeah, they try all these things to get over the counter for that. And like, oh, hell no. No. One of my favorite podcasts I listened to in a while, but Abel from Fat Burning Man, great guy. There was a lot of things with biohacking and understanding the body, and I really consuming that because I was trying to find a natural thing, because I've got into a little bit of that prepper thought mindset, and I was thinking, all right, if it hits the proverbial fan, how many things can I do where I'm not required to have access to all of these things you can get over the counter, because they will eventually run out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the motivation, and I wanted to understand my body so I could hack my body and make it do what I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
So that's why we went the route of looking at, well, the testosterone is controlled by the pituitary. The pituitary controls all of your chemical balances. So that's the source. Now, naturally, the pituitary will shut down as you get older. That's just biologics. It will shut down at a certain point. It appeared, though, after I got an MRI, which is a terrifying experience if you're a big person, is that mine seemed to be shutting down prematurely. So we were trying this medication to kickstart that. And if by kickstarting that and then having that kind of trickle down, I mean, picture that. The scene from Avatar: Last Airbender when Aang is speaking with the guru,
yeah,
and he's trying to unlock the various chakras. That's kind of what we're looking at. It's like we have all these areas that are gummed up, and we want to flush the system and get everything flowing right, so we can hit our quote unquote avatar state.
So
yeah.
energy bend your way to victory. 2 spots.
So yeah, all right. Talked about that. Unveiled all that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about someplace that'll probably be even more exciting, and that is Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, the new book that was announced today from Wizards of the Coast. Now, this is not Curse of Strahd. No.
Sir.
This is a source book for Ravenloft. Now, back in 2nd edition AD&D, Ravenloft was a campaign setting like Faerun. In this, and there was many regions within Ravenloft. It's just the most famous and notable happens to be Barovia and Strahd von Zorovich. Well, that's just one little valley amongst many others. So this source book is going to be a return to some of those great genres of horror. It's scheduled to come out in May of this year, May 16th, I believe. You can already pre-order it on Amazon, but if you want to get the alternative cover, you need to look at your local game shop, because that's the only place you'll be able to find it initially. Also, you can pre-order on D&D Beyond if you are a member of the D&D Beyond community. Subscribers, purchasers, all those great resources. It's available for pre-order. I believe there's even a special dice set that you can get for that too. But this is supposed to be it's the Domains of Dread, which is the demiplane which was a demiplane in earlier editions. And there are over 30 of them that they're going to be exploring in this book. There's a couple of videos out there. There's one that Todd Kendrick does where he breaks down the videos. I haven't had a personal chance to see it yet, but I will be definitely watching it in the next few days. May 18th is when it's released. Pre-orders are open. I'm so excited for this book. Somebody sat there and said, can't wait to go back to Barovia with this. And I'm like, I'm not talking about just Barovia, baby. I'm thinking all kinds of fun.
Expanding the horizon. Different things to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it. It's like these source books are great because you can take elements of the source book and drop them in anywhere.
That's what's good. Have that foundation and then go.
Yep. I have ordered my Candlekeep Mysteries alternative cover. I will wait till I order I will order both the physical copy and the digital copy. I'm just waiting for the digital one. But I will have that. But yes, and 2 new subclasses. There's the Undead Warlock. Like, we don't need any more of those running around. And there is another one. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I don't have it in my notes, but I believe it's a Circle of Creation. I think it's a Circle of Creation, something like that. Anyway, we'll probably talk more about that as more info released. I was scouring, trying to find places. I need to get out those internal memos so that I can talk about this more frequently as things come up. But, you heard, I'll do my best to have more info as more info is released. So, yeah. I've done a lot of talking. Ry, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, there was a con over the week.
There was a con.
There was a con, one that kind of glazed over because they do talk about a lot. They like to rehash the same stuff over and over, but there was some interesting stuff that actually caught my eye. I think the same things that caught your eye.
Are we talking about the BlizzCon?
Yes. BlizzCon
was this past week. All amazing. There was a great Critical Role one-shot for Diablo. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. It's about 2 hours, about a little over 2 hours long. But knowing Matt, it's probably well worth it. If you've already seen it, great. Don't spoil it for me. I will check it out soon. Please don't spoil it. I loved their Doom one-shot.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun. But yeah, BlizzCon did happen. They dropped a lot of good nuggets throughout, stuff about bringing back Blackthorn, Lost Vikings, some stuff dealing with Hearthstone, but there's some...
Now, Lost Vikings is interesting because that's one of their first games.
Oh, yeah.
So, bringing back and upscaling it. And... yeah, there's the World of Warcraft Burning Crusade Classic that was announced.
Yes, they announced that you will be able to go into Burning Crusades, but you added a tidbit that I did not know about.
You have the option to, when that gets released, There, previously when World of Warcraft did this, for those of you who do not know, who've never heard of this game, when you upgraded to Burning Crusade or whatnot, Burning Crusade elements were kind of forced upon you as you went up. Well, in this, you don't have to. If you want to stay at WoW Classic, they're going to keep the WoW Classic servers up. It's just now they're going to add for Burning Crusade Classic. So that will be nice where it's like, oh, I could have this one or that one or the new modern stuff, which apparently you can now start to fight Sylvanas.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
And many other things. Another thing they dropped, which kind of like littered through my newsfeed, but one that caught my eye definitely was that there was a rumor of a remake of a beloved title for many, many people. We know a few people that love this game, Diablo 2. And Blizzard went out and confirmed the long rumor project Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Yes, it's basically Diablo 2, but they upscaled it to graphics that look very similar to Diablo 4. And you will be able to start playing the classic Diablo 2, which looks really great. I didn't play it much. I think my first full-on Diablo experience was Diablo 3.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, they did announce a new character class for Diablo 4, the Rogue. That looks completely insane.
Oh yeah, it does look crazy. When I saw that video, I was like, what?
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
No, I was never a big Rogue player, but you know, that video makes me think otherwise.
Watch for the cosplay. Yeah, BlizzCon's got some great cosplay.
Oh yeah, they always have good cosplay at these cons. Hopefully we can go to some cons this year.
I did get my ticket for GaryCon, the virtual GaryCon that'll be in March.
There you go.
So I'm looking forward to that. I had a brief conversation with Jasper's Game Day about doing something with them for in the near future, and they asked if I would be interested to do something for GaryCon. Just need to follow back up. I don't know if that's something any of y'all are interested in, but I'm going to try because, you know, I feel that Jasper's is a good thing, and I'm in a position that it feels close to home to do something with them, so I'm going to try and do something with them.
You should try. But yeah, hopefully I can go to some cons. I know the people that I saw, it was on some of the Facebook pages for the cons. They put out some kind of survey out there that you go in, you answer and talk about if you went to a con, how would you want it set up, how would you want this and that. So hopefully, knock on wood, we get to go to.
We need to talk to the gents at Tidewater Comic Con and maybe do something there.
Yep, that'd be cool.
On location with Tidewater Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
Or Virginia Comic Con over there in Richmond. Well, I don't know if they'll have it, but definitely think next year we're gonna go travel.
Oh yeah, at least next year. Definitely hit up some cons, hit up some gaming conventions. I still want to go to PAX East. Oh.
Dude, I would love to go to PAX.
Oh yeah, my cousin went to PAX East, and I was a little bit jealous.
Remember when we used to talk about going to PAX East when PAX East first was announced?
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to go, but it always was just
where we worked. It was like, oh, it was right at the end of tax season, and our job required us to be in the office on tax season. Like, oh man.
Yes.
I would love to. I still want to go to PAX. I want to check out PAX. I want to check out GaryCon. Now that I know about GaryCon, because to be honest, I did not know GaryCon was a thing until last year. Now I know it's a thing, and it's like, ooh, I want to know more.
Truth.
I want to know more. I want to go hang out with. I want to get out. I want to meet people, and you know, virtual is nice. I think it's great. I keep doing this, but I want to get out to some cons, and I think I'm gonna need. Be honest, I'm gonna need some help to get out to some cons to give my little take and perspective on things. So, and you know, get some cool swag I can give away and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just gotta get over this wave.
Yeah, get through the thing.
Get through the thing.
But yeah,
explosion of greatness.
Yeah, BlizzCon, a lot of great stuff if you're a Blizzard fan. Cosplay's amazing. So many great cosplay ideas come out of Blizzard games.
Oh yeah, I did put a
So
link
many.
in the chat from Destructoid, who has a summary of the whole event. So check it out.
That's okay, Sakura. I was gonna try and go this year as well, but you know what? 2022, we'll all be there.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we'll all be there. We'll all find a way to be there.
So it's like we're gonna be clawing our way, hitchhiking, put the thumb on the road, and go.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
You can be the you want to be the third person? Jump in the car. Let's go, May.
yeah, I'm down. You have to pick which PAX. PAX Prime, PAX East, PAX PAX South.
And you know, yeah, there is PAX Prime, but PAX
The OG
East,
PAX.
the OG PAX. I'll do PAX East first. Never been in Boston, so I'd like to go to Boston.
New York Comic Con. I haven't done that, but I'm also very intimidated to go to New York. I'm not going to lie. I will go back to Los Angeles and San Diego before I go to New York City.
Yeah, New York is a very compact place. But you know, New York is a little bit closer than LA, so you know, 8-hour drive.
Yeah, let's take a look and see what we can do about hitting the cons next year. Wouldn't mind getting Mayflower's opinion on some of these craziness.
But yeah,
PAX East, definitely PAX East.
PAX East is where to be. Let's do it.
All right. Alrighty, well, I think we've talked about all that. Let's get some odds and ends in and then head on out for the night.
And Endies.
I know you're a New Yorker, Sakura, so now that we've met, maybe I can maybe you can help me navigate New York City.
Yeah, help us out here. Help me get around. Find some good food.
Oh, I don't think food's a problem in New York. It's just, it's a lot. New York seems to be one of those places. If you don't know where to go, I always told myself, if I'm going to go to New York, I want to go to New York with enough money to where I don't have to worry about going in the wrong place. You know, one of those things where it's like, okay, this is the itinerary. I have a car, take me from point A to point B. I don't wander around because, you know, to be honest, New York terrifies me because large groups of people like that, no, not really liking the idea. But, you know, I'll go to Boston, which, anyways, so. It's very intimidating, New York City, when I think about it.
We'll break that wall.
We'll get there. I've had friends who've gone, and I wouldn't mind trying to hit them up, but we'll see what we can do. Find a way to get some help and meet some peeps and have some good times.
We'll do it. We'll get it.
But yeah, odds and ends.
Odds and endies. What we got on deck first?
What we got on deck? Oh, we got a lot of fun tonight for odds and ends, people. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Our first story. Now, remember, this is a follow-up to a story we did before.
Yes. Links in the chat, people, if you want to follow along.
Y'all remember this house? You might have remembered this house. This was a house made famous in the movie Silence of the Lambs. Well, several weeks ago, we had an odds and ends story where it said this house had gone up for sale. The retail price for this house was $300,000.
Yes.
In that time, the house has been purchased. And much to our excitement as movie buffs and geeks and things, the new owner of this house has decided to turn it into a bed and breakfast. Themed, all in accordance with Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, sir. He's definitely the guy that purchased the house, Chris Rowan. Wants to transform the 3-story Victorian into an overnight stay, on location filming, weddings, guiding tours, and other special events. Quote, I am proud to say that Buffalo Bill's house is open for victims. I mean the public. End quote. So, yes.
You gotta be a special kind of person.
You gotta be a special kind of person to go, get that VIP seat in the...
Can you see that conversation between two people planning to get married? It's like, where would you like to have your wedding at? Well, I don't know. Like, can we do it in this botanical garden? No. Let's go to the house they filmed Silence of the Lambs in.
Let's go, and then...
Let's do that. Let's make a memory doing that. So like, Well, all right.
We all know where the VIP section is. Lotion and all. Wink, wink.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Well, once you're done there, we might have to chow down on some food, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah. Speaking of food.
Link in the chat, people.
Alrighty. There's a restaurant in Michigan that has started to serve a 2-pound taco. Being as it is Tuesday and I did go out for Mexican today, we're gonna do some Taco Tuesday. And today's Taco Tuesday is this restaurant. Now, this restaurant's in Michigan. The taco is a 2-pound taco that comes in beef or chicken. Topped with lettuce, tomato, onions, jalapenos, and Tex-Mex cheese. It's served with salsa and sour cream. Each of these tacos is $15 a piece. However,
there's a catch. There's a catch.
If you can eat 3 of these, then they're all free.
Yes. So if anybody wants to take on the challenge of eating 6 pounds worth of 6 pounds worth of tacos, you don't have to pay for them. But you might be feeling a little something the next couple days.
You could eat that? Sakura, you could eat that? Oh, wow.
You could eat that? Back in my day, I could probably eat that.
Well,
today, I can't eat that.
The name of the restaurant, in case you want to make travel plans to Michigan, is Mally's.
Mally's Sports Bar and Grill.
Now, if this name sounds familiar, then you might be a fan of an old TV show that was called Man vs. Food.
Yeah, on the Travel Channel, people.
Back in 2009, Man vs. Food went to this place and did their challenge for their 190-pound burger.
Think what he just said there, people. 190-pound burger. That weighs more than me. A burger weighs more than me.
That particular episode that aired had him and 40 other people as a group trying to eat this burger. And they not only had to eat the entire burger, but they had to do it in less than 2 hours.
Yes, that's just crazy. Like, you know.
Oh, 3, that's just crazy. Yes, 3 is crazy. But this place obviously already has a habit of making impossible meals. But to be fair, that taco does look pretty good.
Yeah, I could probably eat the 1. But eating the 3 to get free.
I'll be honest. I could probably order that for the family, and we might be able to finish it. Just saying.
Yeah, you might be onto something. But hey, I'll just pay the $15. It's not gonna happen for me. But hey, located in Southgate, Michigan, about an hour and 20 minutes from the Flint area. Let's go road trip. Who wants to?
I've got family in Michigan. I might go check it out.
Let's do it. I'm going.
Yeah, Scott, 190-pound burger. I'm not kidding you. Go look it up. Man vs. Food, Mally's, or actually, you know what? If the link for this article, if Ra hasn't already posted it in the chat,
there's a video.
There's actually a link where you can watch the episode of Man vs. Food where they show this thing. That burger is amazingly big. It looks great. Don't get me wrong, but it really does look like they have a sheet cake for the bun.
Oh, we should go to run through the run mill of the ingredients again.
Oh, the taco. The taco is a 2-pound taco that this restaurant is also serving. It is comes in beef or chicken, topped with lettuce, tomato, onions, jalapenos, Tex-Mex cheese, served with salsa and sour cream.
Lots of good ingredients there, people.
And the restaurant said that if you could eat that, each of these is $15, but if you can eat 3 of them, then they're free.
Oh yeah, as Scott says, it's an hour away from his house. Coming to visit.
No.
But hey,
we're gonna take a moment off that. I don't have a picture. I don't have a picture for this next one, but
I had to put the link in a tiny URL for this one because it was a long link.
Yes.
So click the tiny URL. It'll take you to the actual link on NBC News.
So, for our next story, I don't have a picture for it. I'm sorry, but this is one of those things where
I'm laughing because it's
how can I put this?
Only in Florida. Let's start.
No. This is only in Florida, nothing. This is one of those things that people make dumb decisions. And this is one of those that will get you in trouble.
I think a little bit of trouble.
All right, so enough teasing. Let me say you've got your significant other. And you want to propose that age-old question about spending your lives together.
Will you marry me?
One of the things you probably shouldn't do is steal the ring and wedding band from one girlfriend to give to another girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
Or significant other. This is, be fair. But this particular story, this dude in Florida stole the wedding ring and band from one girlfriend, as well as some other jewelry, drove over to the next town, and proposed to his other girlfriend with the stolen wedding ring and engagement ring.
And the way that it was found was that said first girlfriend, when she looked up the Facebook page, she noticed a photo of the other girl wearing a wedding band engagement ring that was identical to her own prior marriage. But wait, when she went to check, it was actually gone, along with some other jewelry worth $6,270.
I mean, that is just like, really? Really?
You try to save money sometimes, but this is going below cheap and a little bit below.
Dude, I mean, no. I mean, this is just straight up stupid. I mean, I'm sorry. This is straight up stupid on a number of levels. One, it's like, wait a minute. Not only is the dude cheating in two different relationships, but the guts to steal from the one to give to the other. I mean, I read this article. I was, no kidding, having flashbacks to the first Sister Act film, where Whoopi Goldberg is getting a gift from the mob, from the dude, and it's like, knowing that he's married to this other person, and then the guy gifted her a fur coat, and as she pulls it out and looks, it's got his wife's name in it. And dude's giving it to Whoopi Goldberg's character. I mean...
Yeah, but, it crazy is as crazy does, because there's a little bit more topping on the cake with this Florida man guy. He once took the fiancée to a house that actually belonged to the Orange City woman while she was at work and claimed it was his. That's in the article, too, if you want to read it up, people. But hey... Stupid is as stupid does.
I don't know. I mean, smooth talker must have been if he got it still. You know what? I need something else to talk about. Let's talk about something else. Let us talk about dogs with blue fur.
Dogs with blue fur from the BBC News, people.
And they're going, wait, what? Dogs with blue fur? Is this real? Is this a joke? No, actually, it is very real. This is actually one of 7 dogs located that was seen in Russia, near an abandoned factory, derelict kind of glass factory. This factory made acrylic glass and prussic acid. Apparently, these group of dogs had been rolling around in some of the dust and debris that had been that's in the leftover in the factory, and it turned their fur blue.
They became the blue dogs of
now,
Russia.
Nice thing is these dogs are all healthy. They crowd them up. Vets looked at them, took them to shelter. Overall, they're healthy. They're friendly. They're healthy. They're happy stray dogs. They just have blue fur.
Oh yeah, they appear healthy, but they really hope that some toxic chemical known as copper sulfate is not in the color change. But right now, they are doing healthy. But there's more to this story.
There's more. There's another piece of this. These blue dogs caught a lot of attention.
Lots.
And within a few weeks of the blue dogs, there were green dogs discovered near another factory, a few hundred miles away.
Yes.
Now, the green dogs might just be green with envy, because as far as they can determine, the reason their fur is green is because somebody colored them, because they wanted the popularity that the blue dogs got.
Yeah, they can't be outgunned and outcolored. We gotta have a competition of colored dogs in Russia, Instead of
I got nothing.
Instead of Cold War action, it's colored dog action.
But this is an interesting bit because we know that in a lot of areas in those things, like a lot of these abandoned factories and whatnot from that era, and some of it was not really well properly cleaned up or shut down. It was kind of just left. Yeah. And this is kind of what we're seeing. I mean, this is it's crazy. It's cool that the fur is blue. I mean, the dog looks like he's doing pretty good. I mean, dogs are colorblind anyway. What difference does it make what color his fur is?
Yeah.
But the fact that there are so many places like this in those areas that could have these kind of potential health impacts. I mean,
it's kind of scary and kind of crazy. And, you know, the way that, you know, humans destroy the earth, this is just a sign of it. Even if it's nice and colorful.
No, Scott, it wasn't a green dog in France. It was a green dog in Russia, a few hundred miles away from the blue dogs.
Yeah. Polskis, 23 miles south of Moscow is the green dogs. And if you want to find the blue dogs, they are in, I'm going to butcher this, Zersinsky, 230 miles east of Moscow.
Yeah. So,
about to hit up the Ruskies and go and find these dogs. And find the colors. And might find pink dogs, you know. Blue ice cream.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's like tub of blue ice cream, but no, I'm sorry. It's like that's just the dog trying to go for a good snack. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all y'all, that is it for us tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. As a reminder, if you enjoyed the content you're watching, please hit that like button.
Thank you.
And if you want to hear about more content that we produce, please hit the subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you can be notified when new videos are released on this channel. We have a couple other shows on our schedule. Saturdays, we do 2 live play D&D games over on twitch.tv/Scuba Studio. Shadow Watch at 10 a.m. Eastern with a group of adventurers in the Underdark seeking an ancient dwarven artifact. And then we have Challenge Accepted, which is at 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays over at twitch.tv/Scuba Studio. That intrepid group of adventurers is discovering their place in the world, currently traveling to the town of Saltmarsh. But they're going to make a little stopover in another little town that is just being founded, and possibly chat with an interesting character we as a community have been working on for about a year now. So we'll finally bring her out from paper and bring her to life. And she might even have a special voice. We will see. And then, of course, Sunday mornings is Sunday with Scoob, 12 p.m. Eastern here, live on YouTube, where I sit and I paint a miniature and talk to all you wonderful people, which really appreciate it if you come by and hang out. If you are a member of my live game cast, you are welcome to come and hang out. We can talk about whatever is on your mind.
It's a very chill kind of conversation.
Yes, Ry is a regular on there where we kind of just chit chat and hang out.
Yeah, he paints, I do schoolwork, pretty much. That's pretty much how it goes.
I would love to talk about doing some more things, but we'll see how that goes. With that, thank you all very much. And if you want to support the studio, there are a variety of ways to do that. Probably the best one, and to give you that early access, behind the scene access, exclusive access, whatever you want to call it, is go over to patreon.com/Scuba Studio and become a patron there. We have a variety of tiers. Anything and everything helps to keep the studio functioning, keep the lights on, keep us doing these things, and keep us expanding. I would love to do a couple more shows, couple more things, and as well as keep talking about this journey of kind of getting my life back together as a healthy person, because I don't like being unhealthy. And
it's not a good thing. But once you get going and doing it,
I love running. I love working out. It's great. It's just I haven't done it for so long.
Oh yeah, I enjoy my runs.
Last quick shout out for Sirenscape. Check out Sirenscape.com for their online player, which you can use to have yourself and your players who are virtual still listen to the same music and have the same ambiance. We have a wide variety of sound sets from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. With that, you all love each other. Be safe, be happy, and we will see you on our next stream. Good night, everybody.
Peace. Yeah. We are there.
Of course, a shout out to our patrons. If you want to get on this list, go check out patreon.com. $5 patrons and higher, get their names on this little list, and we will give shout outs as people join. Thank you all very much.